Hi, my smell good friends. I hope everyone is having a fabulous day out there today. If you're new here today, welcome. And if you're a returning smell good friend, welcome back. So what I have going on here today are my candle empties. So what I've been burning, what I've been warming, what I've been crocking that I finished up this week. It may have very well taken me a lot longer than a week to actually burn, melt, crock, what have you, when it comes to these candles. But I finished them this week. So they became my empties. And if you're interested in hearing what I got through, stay tuned. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with one candle that I only have one sold candle from the brand. And that's YANKEE candle. This is Red Apple Wreath. And this is in the new 3-wick that was released, well, I want to say this year, but technically we're 2025. This was a Christmas release, 2024, when the new 3-wicks were introduced. This is Red Apple Wreath. And this is a returning scent. Is that jar not gorgeous? It's quite luminary, which appealed to me when I saw the design. There were some other jars like this that were really beautiful, including their very popular Balsam and Cedar. But I was not able to get my hands on that one. That one had sold out. So I got a really good deal on this. I only paid $10 for it. YANKEE, I have noticed. Hello. 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 You want to say hello to the friends? Yeah. It's time to, okay. Camera comes out and then he decides it's lap time. I know he's not hungry because I just finished feeding him. I decided to feed him a little early so he wouldn't get hungry while I was working on this video. I just finished up my work day. I worked from home today because he had a vet appointment earlier. So I got a chance to feed him a little bit earlier and that worked out. And so I figured since I'm home a little bit earlier than usual, I would knock out a video today. So anyway, back to Red Apple Wreath. Don't think this has scent notes on the bottom. I don't know why YANKEE cannot do that. Maybe because they list a book for their scent notes. But basically, this is like an apple tree scent. Honestly, I think I was looking over the notes before I started burning this candle, and it didn't have tree in the notes, but I get a little bit of tree. I don't know why it would be called Red Apple Wreath if it didn't have like a green tree wreath kind of note. But I definitely get, I think what I get is very sweet, kind of like a tree sap note. Kind of mapley, kind of buttery, sweet. But in a really good way. You definitely get the apple for sure. And it's a fresh, crisp, crunchy apple. But mixed with that sweetness, oh, it's just so good. And then you get some spices. And I don't remember what the spices are in here, but I would say it smells like cinnamon. And possibly a little bit of clove. So, if I remember, I will post the scent notes above when I edit this video. But this is just a beautiful scent that I've purchased from YANKEE several times now. And like I said, when I saw this jar, I was like, wow, that's beautiful. I want it. And when it was burning, it was just absolutely stunning the way the flames would shine through these cutouts of the berries and the wreath. Kind of looks like holly. Yeah, it was really beautiful. I did pick up a second one. I was only going to get one because I had an older 3-wick in my collection. But my daughter stole that one. So I had to get another replacement. So I'll be good for next year if they don't bring it back. I will say the burn on this was a bit vicious. She did burn quite hot. And so I did get some scorch marks. I did clean it once. But then, you know, more scorch marks. The wax got quite dirty. It actually got better as it went along. I did pour a little bit of the dirty wax out, but it did not change the scent. And I can deal with dirty wax. If the scent doesn't change, I hate when the scent changes because, you know, it's not the candle that you're used to smelling. And a lot of times that scent changes into like a burnt, grody, sometimes a kerosene-like scent, and it's not smelling good. But this didn't do that. This still smells amazing. And I was pretty happy that I was able to burn it all the way down. But like I said, it did get quite hot. Thank you. Thank you. You are just the sweetest boy. Yes. Oh my gosh, you're just so cute. You're just so cute. You just know it. You just know it. Can I talk about my candle now? Okay, thank you. He's crazy. What were we saying about Red Apple Wreath? Scent stayed the same, burned hot. Throw, I would say this was a good medium. I did burn it in my open space, and it was the only red Apple Wreath candle I had going, so I was mixing this up with some Bath & Body Works candles I actually have here to the side of me as well. I would say the throw on this was about a 6, as far as medium, possibly a 6.5. If I was sitting closer to it, it may have been a little bit better, but I would say definitely a 6. And obviously, I would get it again because I already purchased this a second. So that is Yankee Candles Red Apple Wreath. And these new candles, by the way, are 14 ounces, 14.5 ounces. So the same size as a Bath & Body Works candle. All right, what should we do next? Speaking of Bath & Body Works, let's do that next. So I have 1 scent in 3 candles here that I was burning simultaneously with that red apple wreath. 1 is in a single wick and the 2 others are 3 wicks. So I'll start with the single wick. This is Tree Farm. This actually has a little bit more in it, but you guys know once I get close to being to the bottom, if I know that I'm going to finish that candle before the next week of a trash night, because my trash night is tonight, I'll go ahead and feature these in my video. That way I can toss it, recycle it, whatever I need to do. And since I'm so close, that's what I wanted to do. The single wicks, I don't talk about a lot, but like I said, I have 2-3 wicks here, so we'll talk about it more. But I did get through a single wick of Tree Farm. And the reason I don't talk about these a lot is because they don't give a lot of scent throw. I will say sometimes if you put it under a candle lamp, they do fairly well, especially if you have them in a bedroom. If you have them in a bedroom, they do okay. But in my open space, I just use these to add a little bit more oomph to my 3-wick scents. And then the 3 wicks I got through, I'll show both of them here. So you have this one, and then you have the White Barn, pretty green, plain kind of jar. I really like the ones that are like this with the little bit of the holiday design with the snowflakes, but also they're translucent. I really like these a lot better than the matte jars. I don't get the best performance with the matte jars. They seem to burn really hot, and they go dirtier faster than my normal Bath & Body Works candles, so I tend to stay away from those. But these do well, for the most part. So Tree Farm is, and I'll tell you the years I have on this. So this green one is 2023, and this one actually is 2023 as well. So it's not unusual that Bath & Body Works released this scent in particular. There's several scents they do that way. In several different labels in the same year or same season. So Tree Farm is crisp pine needle, warm cedar, and spiced apple. So I think you can kind of figure out why I burned them in conjunction with red apple wreath from Yankee Candle. It just was so nice burning them together. They just blended well. They're very similar in scent, being that they're apple and tree. Tree Farm is a favorite. I pick it up year after year. And the funny thing is, I just realized how much I liked this scent maybe about 2 years ago. It hasn't been very long, even though Bath & Body Works has been offering it longer than that. This, again, it's quite similar to that. You definitely get that pine note, for sure. You get the pine. And you get the apple, and it's a beautiful apple. And it is more like a warm cider note when it comes to the apple. It's juicy, it's sweet. It's very warm and cozy. It's a very comforting scent. I take this one right into the winter. I feel like it's a perfect scent for winter. It's definitely your winter apple. I like to do apple scents in the fall, but this is more like your winter tree mixed with apple. And I love tree mixed with fruit, especially apple. I would say to throw in these. It was about the same for both, which kind of makes sense since they're both from the same year. I would say the throw in these was about also a 6. So it helped that I had all 3 candles plus that red apple wreath going. It's just a beautiful scent that I'll pick up all the time. And so, yeah, as far as performance, this one got a little dirty. I had to remove wax a couple of times, but it did not change its scent. For the most part, it's still that sweet apple cider, warm apple cider with a tree note. Very prominent tree note. So that was fine. And this one, I actually finished this one up under my lamp because it did also get dirty. So the wicks are a little bit longer on that. And again, the scent is fine because I cleaned it out. I cleaned out all the dirty. And so I will continue to buy this one. I have more of them in my collection, so you'll see this one again, but not until next year. Next up is one that I have another burn or two on. I've talked about this in a previous empty, so I won't dwell on this one too much, but this is hot cocoa and cream. I'm not quite finished with this. As you can see, I have at least probably 2 more burns of this, but it will be finished before my next empties video. So rather than it sit too long, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about it. But again, like I said, I won't talk about it much. This is Decadent Milk Chocolate, Fresh Steamed Milk, and Mini Marshmallows. This was poured in 2022. This is your typical powdery hot cocoa scent. Most people know what this scent smells like. Bath & Body Works is bringing it back for years. I like to pick it up every year. It is a favorite of mine. I do like chocolate in candles. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. But I do feel like this is a popular one. And I very much like hot cocoa scents. I like it mixed with peppermint. I like it on its own. I just like that powdery, sweet smelling hot cocoa scent. And that's exactly what this is. Love it. It'll always be in my collection. So that is hot cocoa and cream. The throw in this is quite strong. It normally is. I would say 8 on this one. I burnt this mainly in my kitchen. Sometimes in conjunction with a KRINGLE hot chocolate candle I have going on out in the kitchen that I'm still working on. Because it takes a little while to go through the 22-ounce candles from KRINGLE. Yeah, both of them are quite strong. I will say the KRINGLE one is a bit stronger, but this one held its own. I did have a problem a couple of times with the wax getting dirty, so it started to change its scent. I removed the wax, I cotton balled it out twice, and then it kind of corrected itself. So I am still working on it. I may finish it up under my lamp, but you won't see it again because I'm showing it to you now. So there's that hot cocoa and cream. This next candle, I did not realize how much I would love this candle. And I only remember seeing it being released once, I think a couple of years ago. 2021. Wow, I didn't even realize it was that long ago. I don't think I've seen it since, and I don't think I've seen a repackage of it. Yeah, the scent notes don't sound familiar, so I don't think I've seen a repackage of it since. I picked up 2 at the time. I started burning this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. So, I'm kind of upset I can't get it again. But I do have one more in my collection. This is Spiced Vanilla Cupcake. And I'm sure you can see the shadow. There's quite a bit of wax in that. And that's because it started to get dirty. This is my point where my Bath & Body Works candles tend to get dirty, especially when they're vanilla heavy, which this one is. And so I had to finish her up in my candle crock. So as you can see, the wicks are all over the place because once they go in the crock, they warm from the bottom up. And so the wicks become unglued, and so the wicks move around. And that's the point where you don't want to burn them again because it would be dangerous. You don't want to burn this with those wicks that close to the glass because you could have a major fire hazard, first of all, but a waxident you don't want to clean up. Anyway, scent notes on this are spiced vanilla frosting, fluffy angel food cake. Actually, it's fluffy angel food cupcake and cinnamon sugar. This was exactly what it says. It was a sweet vanilla spice cake. Oh, it was so good. So good. I will say, once I put this in the crock, it did not last as long. And I was like loving it so much when it was burning. It was nice and strong. I would say for a vanilla candle, the throw easily was a 7, which I was quite impressed with. But I put it in my crock, and that first day, oh, it was so good. But it quickly got weak from there. And I guess I'm not surprised it is a vanilla scent. I think on my next one, I may just lamp it. And so I can get more out of it. Because when you lamp it, you kind of do it in layers. And once that one layer of wax that's melted kind of becomes unscented or very light, you remove that layer. And then you kind of have a fresh layer to start with. Or to continue with. And so I think that's how I'm going to do my next. But, so disappointed I can't get more of this. It's such a delicious vanilla spiced cake scent. Love it. So that's spiced vanilla cupcake. All right, guys, that'll do it for my Bath & Body Works. Let's talk HOMEWORX. So the first candle I finished up from HOMEWORX was Vanilla Orchard Crisp. This has actually been sitting in my collection for some time. Look at that label. Stunning. But I hadn't gotten to it. So I figured I would do it this winter. I thought it was perfect scent for winter. So Vanilla Orchard Crisp is farm stand cider, brown sugar, vanilla buttercream, and tonka bean. This was poured in fall of 2021. I have to admit, this was not a favorite scent of mine. I don't quite know what it is. I think it's that brown sugar. I definitely do. I get that apple note, and it is true to form. It's more like a cider. But this is like hefty on the brown sugar, and I don't like hefty on the brown sugar. And I do get that vanilla, and I get that tonka bean, which kind of gives like a vanilla scent as well, with a little bit of earthiness. It just wasn't a favorite. It was not the best thrower. It lived its life in a hurricane across the room from me. I would say the throw in this was between a 5.5 and a 6. I did lose a wick on this one. This was a 4 wick. That's how it started. It became a 3. I kind of moved them around the best I could, but this was one of those ones you just couldn't really get them centered properly. And so I started having problems with this end pulling out. So I put it under the lamp for a little bit, but I'm done because I just don't love the scent enough to keep messing with it. But this is one of those ones where the wick, and I was surprised for 2021 that happened, but the wick basically comes up out of the clip. So there's no fixing it. It's not one of those deals where it moved and you can kind of push it back into position and then let it harden. No, no, no. It actually pops out of the wick clips. There's no fixing it. It just floats in your wax and it's just like drowning. There's no fixing it. So I'm done with it. I have one more in my collection because this was a QVC buy. And you know, like so many QVC buys, you get 2 of them. So I probably will destash it, maybe list it for sale or do something. But yeah, it wasn't a favorite. Maybe I'll see if my daughter likes it. But when I come across it next year, I'll be getting rid of it. So that's Vanilla Orchard Crisp. Like I said, it's just a scent preference for me. I just didn't love it. I just don't know that I like apple cider mixed with vanilla. And I certainly didn't like all the brown sugar that was dumped in there. Okay, so this was a problem child. I love this candle. It's actually the second time I've had this candle in my collection. I really enjoyed my first one. I don't remember it being such a problem child the first time around, but maybe I just don't recall. This is Love in the Air, or Love is in the Air, sorry. I think this was a Valentine release last year. Very beautiful label. Fall of 2023, it says. Well, you know, again, I'm getting used to being at the beginning of 2025. So Love is in the Air is also dark chocolate rose. This is dark chocolate, red rose, ripe raspberry, and sugared vanilla. The scent itself, I really like the scent itself. You get that chocolate, and I feel like HOMEWORX just does chocolate so well. It's so authentic and so nice. Blended so well. You get a little bit of floral, but honestly, I don't detect a lot of that rose here. I get more of the chocolate and more of the raspberry, and then a little bit of the vanilla. But the star notes here are, don't get it wrong, that chocolate and that raspberry. It almost smells like dark chocolate covered raspberries. Again, with a little bit of that vanilla and a tiny hint of that floral. This one, it burned clean. I didn't have any problem with sooting. It was nice and clean, but man, the puny wicks were such a problem. And it was one of those deals where I just kept removing wax and it just wouldn't fix itself. Now, often that will fix it. It gives the wicks more room to breathe. They'll burn properly, but this one, it just wasn't. So I just kept burning it and burning it. It like lasted forever because the puny wicks just were a problem. But unfortunately, when it has puny wicks, a lot of times the scent throw isn't very good. So I never really got a really good throw from this. I could smell it. I burned it in a hurricane in my kitchen. I could smell it. But I remember the other candle being much better in the scent throw department, being quite strong actually. So this was kind of a disappointment. I don't have any more in my collection. I probably would pick it up again if Harry brought it back. I didn't see it this past Valentine's Day. This didn't come back. But if he did bring it back, I probably would pick it up again and hopefully it would perform better. But I definitely wouldn't get 2 of them. But I enjoyed the scent itself. And I would say the throw, oh, it's so hard to say because of the puny wick syndrome that kept going on. I would say the throw was 6. We'll leave it at that. 6 in a hurricane. So, Love is in the Air. It is a beautiful candle. Love that Eiffel Tower and the roses. Just beautiful. All right, one last HOMEWORX candle, and this candle is just gorgeous. This is in one of their glass jars, and this is Toasted Vanilla Cupcake. Oh yeah, this baby performed very well, very well. So this was actually, it was either HomeGoods or TJ Maxx Find. I'm pretty sure it's HomeGoods looking at this label. I picked this up in fall 2021, or at least that's when it was poured. So Toasted Vanilla Cupcake has notes of vanilla, caramel, sugar, cream, and vanilla bean. This candle performed beautifully. Super clean, no sooting. Throw was quite strong. It performed like a champ. The jar is just stunning. I mean, it's stunning. This is one of those jars where I will freeze the wax, pop this out, and I will reuse this jar. I mean, the lids on these, like, so hefty. Like, this could do damage if you threw this at somebody. I don't recommend that. Don't do that, but hefty. Unfortunately, guys, I don't really love this scent. And I didn't know that. I mean, I'm all about some vanilla. Vanilla cake, sign me up. I'm all about it. You know I am your bakery girl, first and foremost. But I really didn't care for that toasted note. And I believe it's the caramel that's coming across that way. But it really does smell like a toasted cake. Very much so. This is not just like your sweet baked vanilla cake. This has a toasty note through and through. Like I said, it threw like a champ. I had it going in a hurricane over on my dining room table. And oh my gosh, there were times where I had to put it out because it was that strong. So I would say the throw on this, which is unheard of for a vanilla scent, was easily 8.5, 9. Easily. I was impressed. So if this is your vibe, if you can find this pour, fall 2021 again, yeah, she was fantastic. But I didn't love the scent. I do think I have this scent again in like the cupcake wrap label. And if I do, I'll be dishing it because it's just my scent preference. I didn't love it. Of course, one that I don't love, it's going to perform magnificent, of course. But yeah, I was very impressed with how this candle performed. Very impressed. So that is Toasted Vanilla Cupcake. Man, if all my HOMEWORX performed like this, I wouldn't buy from anybody else. Oh my gosh. I mean, one thing about HOMEWORX is the scents themselves are usually quite dynamic, beautiful, flow quite nicely. I just did not love that toasted note, and I do think it was that caramel lending to that. So, not a favorite. Although I will say, when it comes to caramel, I think Harry does caramel quite well. All right, last candle company we have here is KRINGLE. Save the best for last. You guys know how I feel about KRINGLE. So the first candle I finished up, and I love this jar. I've told you in previous videos, KRINGLE is discontinuing the 3-wick painted jars. I am super sad about it. I do have more of this particular jar and scent in my collection, thank goodness. But this jar and scent is sold out, so you can't get any more, which makes me so sad. I mean, you can still get the scent because it's available in the 2-wick tumbler jar. I have a feeling it's going to make it to a 4-wick at some point. Probably KRINGLE is not in a hurry to do that right now because we're just approaching spring, so it's not a spring scent. This is Juniper and Laurel. I mean, come on, guys. That jar is so pretty. It's so pretty. It was such a stunner lit up. I love the pinks that are in there. The teals, the pinks, the greens. So pretty. So the scent notes on Juniper and Laurel are white juniper, laurel leaves, jasmine, eucalyptus, which is usually a no-no scent for me, silver spruce, patchouli, another no-no scent for me, and pine cone. You guys, this is the most beautiful green tree scent. It's fresh and it's sweet. It's almost like I'm getting berries in there. It doesn't say anything about berries, but I swear I smell me some berries. This is just such a beautiful, beautiful tree scent. It has a sweetness, almost a sappiness. It has a sweetness as well. It's almost like there's berries in there. It doesn't say juniper berries. It just says white juniper, but I almost get like a fruit scent from this. I don't see fruit anywhere in the notes. I'm definitely detecting that spruce note as well. It's quite lovely. The eucalyptus blends nicely. I can pick it up. It's there, but it's not harsh. It's not sharp to my nose. To patchouli in here is more like you're pretty, a little bit perfumey, but not overly so. You're not getting a lot of perfume here. It's just lending to the sweetness of that tree note. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I love it so much. So that is, what is it called again? Juniper and Laurel. Don't know why I can't remember that, but I love it. I do have it in the 2-wick tumbler in my collection as well, but I just love the 3-wick jar. I love it, love it, love it. So sad I can't get more of it in this format. I usually do pick that up in wax melts as well because I really do like that scent. And in the last jar I have here from KRINGLE, which I'm not finished with. I've got probably 2, possibly 3 burns left on this, but I know I'll finish it up this week because, you know, I'm trying to be done with my tree scents. We are now entering into March. Granted, we're just at the beginning of March, and there are still quite a few cold days left ahead of us here in Central VA. But I am trying to finish up my tree scents and be done with those and move on to my like fruity and fruity florals and fresh laundry, those types of scents now that we are embarking on spring soon. In fact, daylight savings time is coming up next week, at the end of this week actually. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this before I finish it up this week. This is KRINGLE's Snow-Capped Frasier. So again, another tree scent. Is that jar? Oh my gosh, is that jar not stunning? This is their mercury glass, and they did not release these this year. So, made me very sad because I really like these jars. I have them in red, I have them in green, I have them in blue, and I have them in white. Not sure why they didn't release them this year, but I hope to bring them back for 2025. So Snow-Capped Frasier is balsam fir, amber, fresh, not sure what fresh, but KRINGLE does list notes like that sometimes. Green, again, just green, moss, pine, spice, wood. So, for a company who really likes to list a lot of notes, those notes are a little bit vague. I mean, you can kind of get an idea what you're going to smell, but they're still a little bit vague. This, I get the most beautiful balsam fir tree. Again, it's sweet. That amber really, it's kind of like the patchouli in the other candle. The amber really brings it this nice, sweet prettiness. It really gives it that beautiful, fresh tree note. You do get a fresh note. You do get a little bit of green, but the green comes across to me or to my nose kind of like a fir needle kind of green. That balsam. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The amber just flows so well in here. It's not overly perfumey. It just leads to this tree scent being just beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it except for beautiful. And again, you get like this sweet kind of sappy note. You get this nice, fresh earthiness. It's gorgeous. It's a tree scent I've had before. It's a tree scent I will have again. In fact, I think I have another mercury jar of this. But I definitely have the normal KRINGLE tumbler of this, which is also quite a beautiful label. So check that out if it sounds good to you. But you know, you guys, performance. I mean, look at that. That jar is flawless. Flawless. It's a white jar. There's not an ounce of soot. None on that jar. It's performed flawlessly. The only thing I've had to do to maintain this candle is trim those little mushrooms off the top before each burn. And that's it. The wax is beautiful. It's clean. 100% soy. So it does look a little cratery. It's just the nature of soy wax. That doesn't bother me. No sooting. No sooting. Throwing this, I would say, it's a good medium. I would say between a 6.5 to a 7. So not overly strong. So if you don't like a super strong tree, you may be okay with this. But if you don't like tree at all, you probably would not like this. Because you definitely do get tree. But it's a good medium. If you stick it in a hurricane, it probably could bring it up a little. But I'm really enjoying it. And I'm looking forward to finishing it off. So that is Snow-Capped Frasier. All right, you guys. That'll do it. That'll do it for my candle empties for this week. So hopefully this turned out to be, it looks that way as I peek at my clock. It looks like this would have turned out to be a shorter video, which I am trying to work on. I have not been succeeding, but I am trying because I realize that a lot of people don't like really long videos. And honestly, as I try to fit in my YouTube filming, along with my full-time job, taking care of my pups, all the other stuff that I've got to do. Yeah, I need to be concentrating on talking a lot less and working on, the content of my videos being a lot less talkative. So if you enjoyed this content today, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do, where I feature content such as candle empties, wax empties, Scentsy wax. I'm always fragrancing my home in some way or another, and I love sharing it with you. So I'd love to have you here in my corner, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye.